Your karma is coming. This is for a very, very specific collective. So if you're seeing this video, it's meant for you. All of this information and knowledge is from spirit, by spirit. So I just want to give a thank you to spirit for this. But I want to say before I get into anything that you have truly alchemized your pain. Everything that you've went through in the past, all of those doubts, those fears, those worries is starting to dissipate. And I don't know if you see me holding this journal, but this is basically all of the thoughts that I've been basically sitting in for the last couple of days that I really feel led to share with you right now. And this is the precipice of what I'm going to be talking about. So if you're looking, if you see me looking at this, this is why. Okay, let me get into this. So right now is a time for you to move and play. And when I say move and play, I mean move and flow. And your attraction right now is magnified. And it's not magnified for just out of the blue. It's something you've been working on. It's something you've actively been participating in. You've had goals. You are driven. You are attracted to raising your vibration, and that has been your intention. And you are so focused on getting to that point. And I want to tell you that right now, you're there. Or you're almost there. Everything internally inside of you right now is telling you that you are there. You may not see it externally yet. You might not be able to see it yet, but you can feel it, and you're in a knowing. You're in a knowing that you've reached this point because a chapter has closed in your life, or many chapters, if anything. And when I say many chapters, I mean let me give you an example. You might have been in a situation where you feel like you always had to wear a mask. You had to wear a mask in different environments. You truly felt like you were living in shame and you couldn't be yourself. You couldn't truly trust and be yourself with other people because you were so afraid of being judged by them and not living, and you lived a lot of the time previously in validation from other people. You constantly needed that acknowledgement and that validation and that nod of the head, that saying like, yeah, good job, you did it. You needed that in order for you to feel good on the inside about yourself. And now you're at a point where you're really starting to trust yourself. It's not about anybody else anymore. It's about what's going on in your head. And all of the beliefs that were stemmed from childhood are starting to dissipate, and they're starting to unravel, and you're putting yourself in a position of, my cat's still here, by the way. This is Storm. I'm sorry, that's so random, but this is my emotional awareness cat. So he's here too. Okay, you are on the path. And I want to say this, and I want to make this really clear because this is one of the first things I wrote down. Stop resisting your power. Stop resisting. And what I mean by stop resisting your power is I mean that the universe has put you at this point. Every single thing that you went through brought you to this moment for a reason. And you may not see it externally, like I said, yet. But you are in alignment with everything you want, everything you desire right now in this moment. Every single thing that you've ever thought about, like, when you were a kid, or even now, but like when you were a kid, you used to have like so many glimpses of imagination and things that you had a purpose for and really wanted to do, and you felt so aligned with them. But then the ego came in and said, oh, you're not going to be able to do that. You can't do that. You can't do that. Or other people said out loud, you can't do that. That's too hard. That's too much for you you can't get to that point. Or is that really realistic? Have you heard that before? Is that realistic? Because I feel like Spirit is telling me somebody said that to you before. Somebody said that to you in the past. Is that realistic? Is what you want realistic? And I want to tell you today that despite all of these things that people have said about you, to you, the things that they've wanted you to do, you're breaking free from that. You're breaking free from all of the things that people shoved down your throat and tried to make you become. Despite everything, you have broken free from those chains. You are not living anymore in survival. You are living for the first time. And when I say you are living for the first time, this is so beautiful. You're living as if you are a child again, and not in the way that you used to, because I know you went through things. I know you did. I know you had to overcome parental dynamics, and you had to deal with a lot of hard stuff that a child shouldn't have to go through. And maybe you felt like you weren't loved in those moments, and you felt like you weren't truly given that unconditional love that you deserved, and you weren't allowed to be in that innocence and be in play because you had to grow up so fast, because you had to experience the harder parts of life so fast. I feel like you are in the karma. Your karma is coming, and your karma is coming as in your good karma is coming. All of the things that you went through are now being transmuted and alchemized into your blessings. All the things that you thought you couldn't do and that you weren't going to be because you were so afraid of actually being seen and being in that area of whatever you're passionate about is starting to come to light now. And you're in this, like I said, you're in this childlike energy. And Spirit really wanted me to tell you that you should, in this moment, like over the weekend, while you're hanging out with your family or whoever, your friends, kids, hang out with kids. Express like that play. Really sit in that feeling of what it means to be a child again, and just like freaking play with them. Like just be in that moment and embrace that. Or even if you have a pet. Because kids and pets really give in to their instincts, their natural instincts of play. Ooh, what's that? Like that curiosity, that expression of like everything is so cool because you're experiencing it for the first time. Like even painting, like do something creative, do something expressive, do something you normally wouldn't do. Be spontaneous in this moment, because I really feel like when you're in the mode of play and when you're in the mode of what your inner child would want to do or does want to do more so, you are in the frequency of everything that you desire. And when I say that, I mean when you're so focused on your goals and you're so focused on getting to the next point and getting here and thinking logically and being realistic about things, you lose that innocence and you lose that joy of uncertainty. That joy of uncertainty, because I feel like when you, like, as we're coming into adulthood and as we like walk in our adult life, so many things are said about, you know, you have to pay your bills, you have to work, you have to do this, you have to do that. And you feel like you're constantly put into a box of who you should be. And right now, when I say uncertainty, people always have a negative connotation with uncertainty most of the time. But uncertainty is where all the purest potential lives. It's where all your miracles live. It's where all your blessings live. So in this time of uncertainty, if you're experiencing, if your circumstances or your situations and sit in a level of uncertainty where you're not sure where to go or what to do, or you feel like the bills are stacking up, I want you to embrace the uncertainty. I want you to sit in your power and reflect. And when I'm saying this is, I mean, you don't always have to work harder to get what you want. Sometimes you literally can just sit in the knowledge that you've done enough and you can rest. You can rest in that feeling and in that knowing that no matter what, you still have everything that you need. You still have everything that you want. because when we feel uncertainty, I feel like hold on, water break. Don't forget to hydrate, everybody. It's important. Okay. Oh, okay. Uncertainty. Okay, this is why uncertainty is so important. Because the things we already know about this life, we already have a preconceived idea about, right? When things are planned, you know how things are going to go. You know what's happening accordingly. Everything that happens that is truly a blessing most of the time comes out of nowhere. Like, you kind of expect it, but at the same time, it just comes up, it just pops up, and you're like, oh wow, that's so amazing. I'm so grateful for this moment. And when we live in that uncertainty of our purest potential, we truly start to uncover the best parts about life. Like, I don't know why, but Spirit is telling me to say stillness. Sit in the stillness. Sit and reflect in the stillness. And when I say sit and reflect in the stillness, I mean reflect on all of the moments that brought you to this point, because I am so proud of you for making it here. You have made it. And when I mean that, I like literally want to cry, because I feel like you had to go through so much to get here. You had to go through a world of trauma and of bad circumstances and of hard times. And I feel like you don't regret those moments right now. I don't think you regret them at all, because they brought you here. And you've healed from those things. It's not like you look back and you see them and you have this negative connotation and this idea about them, but everything is suddenly starting to connect, and you're starting to understand why everything had to happen exactly the way it happened for you to reach this point. And that's so beautiful. In the past, I feel as though people put a lot of labels on you, saying like you were delusional, or you're crazy, or there's no way that's gonna happen. And these things were told to you so many times that you truly started to believe them. And you started to believe the ideas and the judgments of other people, and you truly made it your identity. And now, and like, the best way I can say it is you went from delusional, like everybody's saying you're delusional, to starting to think that you are becoming a different person, to knowing that you are who you are, to being who you are. You've reached this process, and I want to say that you're a butterfly now. You went from a caterpillar to not knowing anything in this world, to not knowing what healing journey was going to come to you, what spiritual journey you were going to embark on. And you were sitting in the cocoon, reflecting, thinking about everything that you had to do. You were in the process, in the work. And now you're truly becoming the butterfly. You are the butterfly. You are living, being, breathing who you truly are. And that is so magnetic. It is so magnetic. And I feel like you're going to be seen by so many more people. And you're not afraid of it anymore. You're not scared, because you know who you are to your core. And you're going to start making connections with people and exploring connections with people that you never thought would be possible before. A lot of the things that you're going to be opening up to, like new opportunities and new hobbies, new things that you just want to do. And when you really lean into that, and when you really stop resisting, like I said, resisting your power, when you really just lean in and stop overthinking and questioning and wondering, you're really going to tap into like the highest desire of your life. You have limitless potential, and everything, all of the knowledge and everything that you need is inside of you. And when you stop resisting this knowing, when you stop questioning this knowing and just letting yourself be who you truly are, like in your like amazing, like, just bask in who you are and fucking love it. Like, love who you are. Bask in who you are. When you start moving in this, you're not resisting life anymore. You're not resisting the universe anymore. If you lean into what the universe wants to put on your path without resistance, so obviously everything that you ever want is tied to your emotion. And this is the key to raising your vibration. Everything that you ever want is tied to your emotion. So the way that you feel is the way that the universe is reflected back to you. So if you feel annoyed, the universe will intensify that feeling and reflect it back to you. And when you're in this cycle of feeling this way, I feel like there's points where you were really feeling really good, and the universe was reflecting that back to you. But then you'd have a moment where it would stop. And you would feel really bad for a second. And then you would feel really good. And I feel like you're in this momentum of where you're actually maintaining your inner peace. You're actually maintaining your happiness. And although situations, people, circumstances are still happening around you, the chaos is no longer affecting your inner peace. The chaos is no longer affecting where you know you are. And that's the beauty of it, because that's the key to living in abundance. That's the key of knowing that you have more than enough. It doesn't matter what your external life looks like. It's knowing that internally you have everything you need. Tell yourself that. I have more than enough. I have more than enough. I am living in abundance. And when you say I have more than enough, truly mean that. There are going to be things that are going to try you right now in this moment, and that's because the universe has a desire to feed on our frequency. So if you start getting out of your higher being, out of your higher self and into your ego, you're going to feel that resistance. You are. Like, I can't even explain it myself. I felt a resistance a couple of days ago and I was like, whoa, where is this coming from? So things are going to come up. That's just what life is. But when you're starting to experience it and you just accept it and you start seeing the things that have troubled you before or have upset you before or have put you in a deep, dark place before, if you start seeing those things as blessings in disguise instead of bad or negative or disheartening, and I'm not saying you can't be angry or you can't be sad. Feel those feelings. Like, you're meant to feel those feelings. Those emotions are sending a signal to tell you that something is going on, and it is your responsibility to acknowledge that and feel that and understand why you're feeling that way, because it's going to teach you something. And when you feel those feelings, learn to understand them and actually write out why you're feeling those ways. Like, you don't even have to write it out, but you can write it out, you can record it, you can talk to yourself about it. Have those self-talks because they are needed. When you have those self-talks, you are eliminating your limiting beliefs. You are having ego death by having those conversations, and you are listening to your inner child. You are listening to the things that make you feel uncomfortable. And when you do that, you are truly becoming in tune with yourself. And I want to tell you right now that you are there. You made it. You are here. You made it. And you should be so freaking proud of yourself, because I don't know about you, but I feel like I've survived so many things, and I always had this mustard seed of hope inside of me. And let me give a little bit of background, but when I was younger, I had a lot of mental health issues. My identity revolved around my borderline personality, my depression, my traumas, my dad being in prison, my dad passing away, grief, my brother passing away. I lived in that identity, and that was like who I felt was who I was. In all honesty, that's who I felt who I was, but there were so many small moments in time. Hi, baby. There are so many small moments in time where I would feel this small, still voice speaking to me. And it wasn't even a speaking. It was more of like a feeling or a knowing or a visualization in my head. And it was like, you're not meant to be here. This is not who you are. This is not where you like are expected to be. You know you're so much more than this. So why are you staying stuck here? And when I actually started unraveling that, when my dad passed away, actually, I was in a state of so much grief and so much pain. And for weeks on end, I was literally just sitting in bed crying. And I felt my dad's presence, just like I actually felt my dad's presence last night. And I want to actually highlight him really quick because he has changed my life exponentially, even in death. This is James Clay right here. This is my daddy. But when I was laying in bed and I was questioning everything and trying to understand and obsessively understand why he passed and what it meant for me and what it meant for my life, it felt like a huge part of me had died with him. And he basically said to me, "Why are you crying? Why, you really think I want you to live like this? You really think that this is what I wanted for you? It's not." And I felt that energy so deeply that the next day I bought a journal. I started listening to podcasts. I started reading so many books. I went to a spiritual store and bought some sage. I didn't even know what the heck I was doing, but I was like, I'm just going to go for it. I'm just going to do something different because I'm tired of feeling sick and tired of everything. And it changed my life. It completely changed my life. I don't even associate myself with having borderline personality disorder anymore because I don't think that I have it. I don't believe that I have it. I exist out of that identity now. And it's truly such an amazing journey that I've went on to reach this point. And I feel like we are so similar. And that's why you're seeing this video. And then last night when I was literally looking in the mirror, reflecting on my childhood, he said to me, "I am so proud of you. I am so proud of you." And there were moments where I was like, oh man, I wish he was here. I wish he could see me publish my book. I wish he could see me now. I wish he could see me as like the true being that I am and embracing who I am as a person. And he can. And I want to tell you this right now. If your loved one, any of your loved ones have passed away, they are literally screaming and cheering for you right now. They are so proud of you. And they are living vicariously through you. So if you think they're not there, they are. They're existing right now with you. And they can feel everything that you're feeling. And they are beyond proud of you. Beyond. Absolutely beyond. So don't think that because someone is gone, they're not truly gone. They always live inside you because a piece of their soul is your soul. We are all one. We are all in unity. We are all in connection. And I wanted to just share that really quick. I am going to put a lot of links in the description below because there are certain people that have truly changed my perspective and changed my reality. And I want to drop the links below so that you can have that connection too. Neuro Knowledge, I want to give a shout out to him. He's absolutely changed my perspective on reality and what I know to be about spirituality. And I've been doing this for 3 years and I just found him and he's absolutely amazing. I also want to give a shout out to, I don't know if I'm pronouncing her name right, but it's Jadina. This girl is tapped in, and I mean, she's tapped in and she's growing fast, and I'm so proud of her. And every single day I tap into her videos because she has that super positive energy that's infectious. It's like an infectious joy that you just can't wait to tap into because it makes you smile. Even if you're having a rough day or you're having a rough moment, it makes you smile. Her videos make me smile. So definitely check her out. And I do want to express that Deepak Chopra has changed my life too. If you haven't read any of his books, you should definitely check him out. I'm going to put a link to his books down below as well. I just read this, The 7 Spiritual Laws of Success, and it reaffirmed everything that I've known about what life is and how to tap into yourself. And if you want to grow deeper in your knowledge about spirituality or about personal development, you should subscribe to my channel, because I'm actually coming out with a new series called I Tried It So You Don't Have to, Spirituality Edition. And I'm basically going into different, I'm going into different subjects about what spirituality is. So I'm going to be covering tarot, astrology, and this is all from a beginner's perspective, beginner to intermediate perspective. But I wanted to give the experience of actually learning about these things from a beginner's perspective, because I don't feel like that's out there as often on YouTube as I would like it to. So I'm going to do it myself. And I hope you actually have a wonderful day, and I can't wait to see you next time. So don't forget to like this video and leave me a comment below if you feel like this video resonated with you. Thank you so much for being here, and have a wonderful weekend.